We're talking about tens of millions of dollars in fraud and theft and robbery across a multi-year investigation.
The NBA has seen scandals before, but nothing even close to this chaos. FBI raids, mafia ties, over 500 players under federal review, billion-dollar sponsors backing out overnight, and a Hall of Fame coach dragged away in handcuffs. Now, insiders are saying the league might be on the edge of bankruptcy. In this video, we're exposing everything, from the first FBI raid to the shocking downfall that's shaking the entire sports world. It all started on the morning of October 23, 2025. A normal game day turned into national panic. Federal agents and black windbreakers stormed multiple homes across Oregon, Florida, and Nevada. By noon, every major network, ESPN, CNN, News Nation, was repeating the same headline: NBA collapsing after sponsors pull out over massive gambling scandal. In one powerful sweep across 11 states, the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York tore apart what they called a criminal empire, one that stretched from the mob to the heart of the NBA itself.
Good morning. Today we are here in New York to announce a historic arrest across a wide-sweeping criminal enterprise that envelops both the NBA and La Casa Nostra.
Among the 30-plus indicted were Shanta Billups, the 2004 Finals MVP and now head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, and Terry Rozier, the explosive Miami Heat guard with a $96 million contract. They weren't just accused of missing shots or throwing games. No, the charges ran deeper. Selling inside information, turning locker room whispers into a multi-million-dollar betting goldmine. Federal investigators uncovered two intertwined criminal operations feeding off each other, blurring the line between professional basketball and organized crime. The first, called Operation Royal Flush, was a rigged poker empire backed by New York's most notorious mafia families, the Bonanno, Gambino, Lizzi, and Genovese clans. From the Hamptons to Las Vegas, they used X-ray poker tables, marked cards visible only through special contact lenses, and hacked Deckmate 2 shufflers that secretly transmitted deck orders to handlers off-site. Over 6 years, victims lost more than $7.15 million. Prosecutors said Billups was the perfect face card, a celebrity lure drawing wealthy victims into these exclusive games. His presence gave a false sense of legitimacy, but beneath the felt was a sophisticated surveillance system rigged for fraud. The second probe, Operation Nothing But Bet, uncovered an insider betting network active between December 2022 and March 2024. Players and coaches leaked confidential info, injuries, rest days, tactical shifts, to gamblers placing massive prop bets. Just one tip about limited minutes could score six-figure payoffs. At a tense Manhattan press conference, FBI Director Kash Patel laid it bare. We're talking tens of millions of dollars in fraud, theft, and robbery across years of investigation. He revealed agents seized altered shufflers, crypto wallets, and firearms. Behind him stood NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch, Homeland Security officials, and U.S. Attorney Joseph Nosella, who delivered a chilling warning: your winning streak is over. Your luck has run out. Court filings named 3 key players in both schemes: BIPS, former player coach Damon Jones, and betting technician Eric Ernest. They face wire fraud and money laundering charges carrying up to 20 years each. Inside NBA headquarters, phones never stopped ringing. Nike froze its apparel deal with the Blazers. DraftKings halted all NBA prop bets. FanDuel scrubbed endorsements featuring Rozier. Market analysts at Front Office Sports predicted an immediate $2.3 billion plunge in sponsorship value if major advertisers refused to renew. That evening on Inside the NBA, the mood was disbelief, edged with heartbreak.
I know everybody that's at play. I don't like to sit up here and be hypocritical about certain things.
Shaq's voice cracked as he recalled the endless anti-gambling seminars they were forced to attend every year. They'd run us through what to do and what not to do, he said. Then, chillingly, he added, when the FBI comes knocking, they already have you. Charles Barkley fired back at co-host Kenny Smith, flat out rejecting the idea that addiction was the reason behind it all. These dudes are just stupid, Barkley said. You can't fix games, no matter what. Their heated exchange became the clip heard around the world, shared over 40 million times on X in just 24 hours. Evidence shows the conspirators treated the NBA schedule like a Wall Street ticker. When Rozier sent a cryptic text to a friend, taking it easy tonight, gamblers pounced, placing heavy under bets on his points and assists for the March 23, 2023 Hornets-Pelicans game. Rozier left the court after just 9 minutes and 34 seconds. Those bets cashed out for over $200,000 in profits. The very next night, Portland benched 4 starters against Chicago, losing by 28 points. Bettors, tipped off early by a source from Oregon, almost certainly Billups, cashed out big on the spread and the team total. Federal filings also mention a third leak from Damon Jones, who allegedly sold intel on LeBron James' unreported foot injury before the February 9, 2023 Lakers-Bucks game. These insider leaks created a massive multi-million-dollar betting chain, not on final scores but on tiny game events invisible to casual fans. But the poker ring was even darker. When victims balked at paying debts, mob enforcers turned to violence. One gambler was reportedly held at gunpoint over a rigged shuffler worth $30,000. Another received a chilling text showing his family's location. FBI photos revealed a disassembled X-ray poker table, proof of a technology once dismissed as urban legend. Agents called it the unholy alliance of celebrity and La Cosa Nostra. What started as glamorous game nights in Miami and the Hamptons had turned into mafia-backed extortion hubs controlled by 4 crime families. Even seasoned investigators admitted they had never seen professional athletes so deeply entangled in mob operations. By sunset, NBA media partners were in full crisis mode. ESPN canceled that night's countdown episode. TNT ordered an emergency legal review. Inside the league, Adam Silver called a 9 p.m. emergency meeting with all 30 team owners. 2 insiders later told The Athletic one owner screamed, "If sponsors walk, 500 players lose their jobs." Corporate sponsors didn't wait. Gatorade, Microsoft, and State Farm quietly froze all activation budgets tied to NBA endorsements. The league's annual sponsorship revenue, roughly $1.5 billion, evaporated overnight. Stock prices for betting partners plunged 4% within an hour of the FBI's briefing. Shanta Billups surrendered his passport and posted bond in Oregon. Terry Rozier did the same in Florida, putting up his home as collateral. Both were placed on indefinite leave, forcing their teams into scramble mode. Portland named Tiago Splitter interim coach. Miami activated rookie Alandis Williams to fill Rozier's spot. Billups' attorney insisted to ESPN his client never bet on basketball and never betrayed the game's trust. Rozier's lawyer called the case a photo op for headline-hungry prosecutors, but the visuals told a different story: 2 NBA stars in handcuffs on split-screen cable TV. Meanwhile, fans turned detectives. Reddit threads resurfaced old photos of Billups at Vegas poker tables. TikTok users looped Rozier's 2023 game exit as proof he faked an injury. Even former players weighed in. Ex-referee Tim Donaghy, jailed in 2007 for betting on games, tweeted bluntly, "Told you it would happen again." The next morning, the New York Post ran a stark front-page headline: NBA House of Cards. Below it, a smiling photo of Billups at a podium was starkly contrasted with FBI agents hauling evidence boxes from his home. By midday, an anonymous league insider told Yahoo Sports that multiple active players were under investigation, sparking rumors the indictments were only phase 1. Sources say the FBI's digital trail included group chats, crypto wallet logs, and encrypted messages linking athletes across 6 NBA teams. If true, the next wave of charges could drag in hundreds more names and topple hundreds of sponsorship contracts. Suddenly, the NBA's financial foundation, built on advertiser trust, looked like a rigged hand ready to fold. The league was on the brink of collapse. When the arrests hit headlines, NBA sponsors didn't wait for indictments. Within hours, legal teams at Nike, Coca-Cola, and FanDuel were dialing urgent calls, all asking the same question: can we afford to stay associated with this? By week's end, the answer was a unanimous no. Nike issued a terse statement: "We are suspending all active NBA marketing partnerships pending further review." In other words, billions frozen overnight. A senior ad consultant told Front Office Sports what followed was the sports version of a bank run. Within 24 hours, State Farm, Tizot, Rakuten, and Gatorade all paused NBA ad budgets. For a league whose annual sponsorship revenue hovered around $1.5 billion, the bleeding was catastrophic. On October 24th, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver convened every team owner on an emergency Zoom call. Insiders told Yahoo Sports the meeting opened with Silver's voice trembling. "We are not facing a PR problem. We are facing an existential crisis." Owners erupted in fury. One executive from a Western Conference team shouted, "You said this gambling partnership was safe." Another demanded suspending all betting-related sponsorships, fearing more names would surface. Silver, visibly strained, revealed the FBI had warned him. More arrests are likely, possibly active players. That sentence shattered the call. Within minutes, owners began calculating their own survival. Golden State's Joe Leob proposed temporarily splitting from the league, creating an independent sanctioned tournament to save sponsor relationships. Mark Cuban suggested freezing player contracts until the Justice Department clarified the investigation's scope. But Jeannie Buss warned punishing innocent players risked a union strike. For the first time in decades, the NBA didn't look like a league, it looked like a collection of corporations in free fall. By the next morning, the NBA Players Association demanded answers. Interim President C.J. McCollum called league officials to confirm if rumors of mass contract terminations were true. His legal team had already heard franchises, including Portland, Charlotte, and Miami, were exploring integrity clause terminations buried deep in standard contracts. They weren't rumors. Leaked documents later revealed at least 12 teams had launched internal audits of player communication and history. 2 front offices even requested bank statements from agents, citing emergency league integrity procedures. A senior agent told Bleacher Report, "They're treating everyone like a suspect." Within a week, more than 500 players and coaches were under review, many innocent but caught in the blast radius. 4 young players on non-guaranteed contracts. The result was immediate termination. Once synonymous with global influence, the NBA's image was now shorthand for corruption. On CNBC, a financial analyst put it bluntly, "When Gatorade and Nike walk away, you're not looking at a scandal, you're looking at insolvency." League accountants estimated losses could reach $3.8 billion from sponsorship withdrawals, ad cancellations, and pending class action suits from defrauded bettors. ESPN paused its NBA Countdown show indefinitely, citing legal sensitivities. TNT delayed the next Inside the NBA broadcast. Shaq and Charles Barkley's emotional takedown of Billups and Rozier had already gone viral. Rozier, earning $26 million, was accused of throwing games, sabotaging his own performances for a few $1,000s in dirty winnings. How much does he really gain by tanking a game to push the under? Barkley asked, voice raw with disbelief. That clip became a symbol of the outrage. A millionaire risking his legacy, all for petty greed. Fans who once debated MVP races now argued over sentencing guidelines. Memes exploded online. Hashtags like #NameAnNBA Blackout and #FixTheFix trended for days. A viral TikTok stitched Billups' FBI arrest with flickering poker cards, captioned, "The house always wins." On October 26th, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver faced the press looking like a man trapped in a corner. "Integrity has always been the foundation of this league," he said. "We will cooperate fully with federal authorities and rebuild trust." But trust was already shattered. Reporters pressed Silver on the NBA's growing ties to sports betting, partnerships he had championed since the Supreme Court struck down PASPA in 2018. One journalist asked bluntly, "Did you sell out the league to the gambling industry?" Silver didn't answer. Instead, he announced the creation of an integrity task force, a move critics said was 7 years too late. Behind closed doors, FBI officials confirmed to ESPN they were reviewing additional players tied to the betting ring through crypto transactions and burner accounts. The deeper the league tried to move on, the more the case unraveled. Federal filings unsealed later that month revealed something chilling. Mafia figures tied to the Bonanno, Gambino, and Genovese families allegedly financed and protected the rigged poker network Billups had joined. In one intercepted text, a suspect bragged, "We got NBA stars bringing in whales. We don't even need casinos." Those face cards, as prosecutors called them, weren't just players, they were bait. Victims, or fish, paid 6-figure buy-ins, convinced they were sitting across from legends. But every card was known to an off-site operator, feeding information through hidden earpieces and modified tables. The mafia took its cut, the VIG, and enforced debts with brutal violence. The indictment detailed Hobbs Act robberies and extortion cases involving threats and gun violence. In one case, a victim was pistol-whipped for refusing to pay losses from a rigged game. What made this scandal unprecedented was the crossover. The same names appeared in both the NBA betting ring and organized crime cases: Damon Jones, Eric Ernest, and allegedly Billups himself. The line between NBA celebrity and mafia had blurred beyond recognition. On Wall Street, NBA broadcast partners began hemorrhaging value. Warner Bros. Discovery, TNT's parent company, lost nearly $400 million in market cap within 2 trading days, shaken by uncertainty over its multi-billion-dollar NBA deal. Disney, ESPN's parent company, issued a profit warning, blaming advertising disruptions linked to pro sports. Meanwhile, Vegas sportsbooks faced their own crisis. DraftKings and FanDuel, once champions of NBA player prop bets, were now under federal scrutiny as victims of insider fraud. Their trading algorithms were subpoenaed to trace suspicious betting patterns tied to accounts flagged in the FBI probe. When auditors found bets originating from foreign crypto exchanges, the Justice Department expanded the investigation internationally, involving Interpol and the UK Gambling Commission. What started as a domestic scandal had morphed into a global money laundering nightmare. While executives fought over billions, hundreds of players, many innocent, were caught in limbo. Rookie contracts froze. Overseas players returning to the NBA faced contract holds pending integrity clearance. Even coaches felt the strain. Portland assistant Scotty Brooks admitted publicly, "Every day feels like someone else could get a call from the bureau." Fans fled. Ticket sales plunged 40% in the first week after arrests. Local economies around arenas suffered. Vendors, ushers, and small businesses faced cancellations as sponsors pulled arena advertising. In Portland alone, where Billups was once beloved, over 200 arena staff were furloughed. A season meant for celebration now felt like a crime scene. By October's end, the league quietly held the Integrity Summit, a closed-door meeting with NBA executives, team owners, and U.S. Attorney Joseph Nosella. The FBI's presentation was brutal. Photos of altered shuffling machines, marked cards, burner phones, and crypto ledgers. Nosella reportedly told Silver, "You built an empire on betting access, and your empire just turned on you." To appease regulators, the NBA agreed to a temporary league-wide suspension of betting partnerships, a move expected to cost over $800 million in lost revenue. Silver privately hoped this would demonstrate good faith before Congress held hearings. But the damage was already systemic. The tipping point came when Gatorade publicly severed ties with the league, a partnership dating back to 1984. Their statement was brief but brutal. When Gatorade announced it was cutting all ties with the NBA pending investigations, the fragile illusion of stability shattered. Broadcast networks slashed NBA coverage mid-season, citing a crisis in advertiser confidence. The much-anticipated NBA 2K video game release was delayed indefinitely, and Nike abruptly canceled its City Edition campaign. The league's golden image had turned toxic overnight. Forbes analysts warned of a looming financial disaster. If the scandal persisted through the postseason, the NBA's valuation could plummet from $85 billion to under $40 billion, wiping out nearly 2 decades of growth. Meanwhile, the courtroom drama unfolded with global attention focused on Billups and Rozier, the scandal's central figures. Though both pleaded not guilty, the evidence was damning. Wiretaps, surveillance footage, and digital trails connected them directly to mafia-linked rigged games and offshore betting rings. As the trial commenced, it felt less like a legal proceeding and more like the funeral of professional basketball. In the Eastern District of New York, the public watched as the FBI laid bare the deepest betrayal in sports history. A league sold out one text message at a time. Prosecutors revealed encrypted communications detailing game-fixing strategies, including a chilling message sent just before a devastating 28-point loss that prosecutors claim was tipped off by Billups. Then came the explosive confession from Rozier, who flipped and exposed an extensive network of cheating, claiming coaches and players knew and sometimes instructed them on how to manipulate games. The scandal mushroomed into a systemic crisis, with internal NBA investigations now probing multiple franchises and senior league officials. A leaked FBI memo confirmed suspicions that the NBA's public gambling partnerships were sustained by strategic silence, sacrificing integrity for profit. As congressional hearings resumed, Commissioner Adam Silver faced the toughest moment of his career. The empire Silver helped build was crumbling under the weight of greed, deception, and betrayal, and the future of professional basketball hung in the balance. Senators grilled Commissioner Adam Silver about the league's lucrative gambling deals and glaring lack of transparency. "You personally advocated for betting partnerships," one senator pressed. "Did you ever once ask if player data could be exploited?" Silver hesitated. Then he answered, "We believed our integrity monitoring systems were sufficient." That single phrase became his undoing. Clips of Silver's stammer circulated endlessly on social media, overlaid with biting captions like, "Sufficient enough to bankrupt the NBA." The next day, Forbes ran a scathing headline, "The commissioner who legalized the league's own destruction." Meanwhile, prosecutors struck gold with a new witness, Solvatore V., a cooperating associate of the Geniov crime family. His testimony peeled back the layers of a dark collaboration. The basketball guys brought the names. We brought the muscle. They called it entertainment. We called it insurance. Solvatore revealed exclusive poker nights starting in 2019, where Billups and Jones were courted with appearance fees and profit cuts as celebrity fish joined rigged games. Sophisticated cheating devices, cards read by concealed sensors transmitting data via encrypted Bluetooth, were controlled by an off-site quarterback. Players communicated subtle signals through hand taps and chip movements to coordinate wins. Courtroom screens displayed FBI reconstructions of these devices, X-ray images glowing with hidden circuitry, proof that the technology was real. Despite defense claims that Billups was a mere figurehead, prosecutors produced bank records showing 5 wire transfers totaling $126,000 from Damon Jones's shell company, Court Vision LLC, labeled as event fees. Under cross-examination, an FBI agent confirmed one transfer matched a rigged game that netted $50,000 in illicit winnings. When asked if Billups could have been unaware, the agent replied bluntly, "Unlikely." After that moment, observers noted Billups's proud posture crumble. The once upright coach slumped, face hidden. Outside the courtroom, the NBA's financial crisis spiraled out of control. Sponsorship withdrawals surged to $5.6 billion. Broadcasters invoked morals clauses to renegotiate deals. Franchises like Charlotte and Portland faced rumors of imminent sale. Fans boycotted games, demanding refunds and dubbing it blood money basketball. Merchandise sales plunged 70%, with Nike and Fanatics terminating licenses and recalling entire retail lines. The league's once booming economy resembled a sinking ship. Arena staff were furloughed, developmental leagues shuttered, and even the G League canceled its season midway. The NBA fought to protect player livelihoods, but union funds dried up. Paychecks stopped. Stars like Luka Doncic and Jason Tatum publicly condemned league leadership, declaring, "We didn't do this. They did." What followed was a lockout, not from failed negotiations but from financial extinction.